Okay, sir. Okay, we are trying.
Hello. Good afternoon, ma'am.
Namaste and good afternoon to everyone. I am Aditi Sakalne. Am I audible to all?
Yes, Aditi, you are audible.
अरे मामा जी का एक काम नहीं है.
I request all of you to kindly mute. I request all of you to kindly mute your mic.
Hello, dear participant, please mute yourself.
The participants kindly mute yourself for the smooth conduction of the program.
Aditi, you will start the introduction of sir directly.
Okay. Yes, sir. Welcome to the webinar, everyone. I've shared the new link in the chat box. Kindly join through that. Okay. Good afternoon once again. Now let us begin the webinar on blockchain technology for new era of higher education. Between us, we have a great speaker, listening to whom is always adding information and knowledge and sometimes new idea to it. And Dr. Professor Nasib Singh Gill. Sir is the senior most professor of Department of Computer Science and Application in MD University, Rohtak, with 30 years of experience and working since inception of the department from Feb 1990. Currently, also working as Director of Digital Learning Center, MD University, Rohtak. Several major positions held in past by him. 9 years as head of the department for 3 terms, Director, University Computer Center from 2010 to 2012, Director, Directorate of Distance Education from 2005 to 2007 and 2012 to 2015, Director MDU Alumni from 2011 to March 2016, Director Public Relations from 2007 to 2018, 2008. Professor Gill earned his postdoctoral research from Brunel University, West London, UK, recipient of
Madam, we are not getting your sound, ma'am.
Aditi, unmute yourself.
Somebody has muted you, Aditi.
Aditi, unmute yourself.
Okay, I'm sorry. Okay.
Sorry to disturb you again. I think somebody has shared their screen also.
Please unshare your screen. Yes. Thank you, Avdesh. Yes, Aditi, start now.
Yes, sir. So I'm welcoming Professor Nasib Singh Gill. I have a list of all the experiences and work experience and knowledge and all the good things what he has done so far. So starting his introduction, Professor is the senior most professor of the Department of Computer Science and Application in MD University Rohtak, with 30 years of overall experience and working since inception of the department in Feb 1990. Currently also working as Director of Digital Learning Center, MD University Rohtak. Several major positions held by him in past 9 years of the department for 3 terms. Director University Center from 2010 and 2012. Director from 2000. From 2007 to 2008, Professor Gill earned his postdoctoral research from Brunel University, West London, UK, recipient of Commonwealth Fellowship Award of British Government for the year 2001, recipient of Best Paper Award by Computer Society of India. Professor Gill recently earned leadership skills at Cambridge University, UK, and IIT Kanpur during May-June 2019 as part of leadership of Academician program, a flagship program of MHRD, Government of India. He has widely traveled abroad for several academics and research assignments, including countries like UK, US, France, and etc. He has published more than 285 research papers and authored 5 popular books. He has immensely contributed towards development of 13 MOOC Swayam Arpit course modules and many more things to say. For this gentleman, I want to invite Professor Sanjay Sharma Sir, Dean to University School of ICT, GBU, the patron to the webinar, to welcome Professor Nasib Singh Gill. Sanjay Sir. Thank you, sir.
Sanjay sir, are you there?
Sanjay sir?
Yeah, am I audible to all of you?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. Well, I first of all welcome to the participants, the eminent scholars who are a part of this webinar, a timely and very special seminar, especially for the higher education persons, blockchain technology for higher education. Professor Gill, an eminent scholar who has been kindly consented to be a part of, as being expert of this lecture. We are extremely thankful to him. He is one who has totally transformed the MDU, Maharshi Dayanand University Rohtak, utilizing the digital world. I know I have gone to that university many times, and one can say that total university has been captured digitally by Professor Gill. I don't want to take much time between you and Professor Gill, so I invite Professor Gill for his knowledgeable and transformable lecture. Professor Gill, thank you.
Okay, thank you, Professor S.K. Sharma sir and Aditi too. Am I audible and visible to all of you?
Yes, sir, you are audible. Sir, I want to do one request. Mr. Avdesh Kaushal, please stop sharing of your screen. Avdesh, Kaushal, please stop sharing of your screen. Sir, you may start now.
Or otherwise, please remove him, sir. We can't see the face of sir.
Yes. Now I think sir is visible to all now.
Okay. Is all fine? Should I proceed?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Thanks a lot, Aditi, for introducing me so nicely to all the distinguished participants to this webinar. And also thank Professor S.K. Sharma too. At the outset, I would like to thank Gautam Buddha University, that Department of Computer Science and Engineering of University School of ICT is hosting this webinar on a very timely theme, that is blockchain technology for new era of higher education. And I'm indeed blessed to be part of this webinar with such a huge participation from different parts of the country and abroad too. And I thank Gautam Buddha University for choosing me to be the speaker in this seminar. I really extend my heartfelt gratitude to Gautam Buddha University under the visionary and dynamic leadership of the Vice Chancellor and Chief Patron of this webinar, Professor Bhagwati Prasad Sharma, vibrant Dean of University School of ICT and Patron of the webinar, Professor Sanjay Kumar Sharma, Head of Department of Computer Science and Engineering and convener of the webinar, Dr. Pradeep Tomar, and co-convener of the webinar, Dr. Arun Solanki, and above all, esteemed participants to this webinar who had to face some technical difficulty in joining this digital platform. Before I proceed to my formal presentation on all the aspects of blockchain technology, I would like to share the background and the theme of the webinar. In the 21st century of digital transformations and industrial revolution 4.0, with which we are also going to align your education revolution 4.0, the blockchain technology represents nothing less than the second generation of the internet. And blockchain technology holds the potential to immensely impact all walks of life, including banking, finance, manufacturing, governance, entertainment, food industry, social media, businesses, and yes, of course, higher education, that is devoted on the theme of this webinar. In true terms, blockchain technology is a very transformative and very innovative technology. But the words blockchain, it sounds more like a game strategy, maybe in football, maybe in hockey. In fact, the blockchain is the brainchild of a person or group of persons known as Satoshi Nakamoto. Blockchain technology became popular due to its successful adoption for cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin. The blockchain provides a very rich, secure, and transparent platform on which we may create a global network for higher learning. This internet of value can help to reinvent education in a way the internet of information alone could never do. What is going to be the most important technology to change education? In my view, it is not IoT, that is Internet of Things, or big data, or cloud computing, or machine learning, or social web, or MOOCs, or virtual reality or artificial intelligence or even deep learning, but it is the only and only one single innovative technology, that is blockchain technology. We all see these all technology which I just mentioned. These are all, I would assume, the components of blockchain that have been enabled and transformed with a new value addition. And with these words, I will like now switch to my formal presentation. Now, kindly help me if my screen is visible to all of you. Is visible? Yes?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
That's great, great. So this is the theme of our today's webinar. Let me start with something very important statement, that is, data is the new oil. This statement, it was made by Dave Coughlin of Microsoft in the year 2016. Now, who would not like to know about data? Everybody. I'm talking about today what we are trying to do. We are trying to harvest the data, the knowledge in different ways, in different forms. So ultimately, what we have to do is, we ought to worry about that important data. And this data, it has created an intelligent space. And what kind of our cyberspace we are referring to, it has now been converged into an intelligent space where we all are performing our jobs, including your education. But the prime concern which drives attention of the people of the society world over, that is the main threat, and that threat is what? Security, cyber security, privacy. And that is why it is well said, if data is the new oil, that brings enormous opportunities. At the same time, privacy and security is the new climate change we should be ready for. Now, let me share with you how the data explosion has taken place in the last couple of years. If you are referring to, if you initially, starting from 2005, that was having the size that was 0.1 gigabyte. Gigabyte is today power 70 bytes. It means after gigabyte, petabyte, exabyte, and zettabyte. So you can look into the volume of the data that is being generated. And let me share with you how this data is evolving, how this so much of data explosion is taking place. If you think of a single internet unit, 45,000 videos on YouTube are being viewed. On our social media and Facebook, that is 40 lakhs of Facebook likes are performed in a minute. And even in Google, our more than 38 lakhs of your searches are taking place. So you can well imagine how the data explosion is taking place. And it is taking place at outpacing technology. At the top of it, businesses, insights at real life speed. People, they never imagined that their business would multiply in that manner. And today, maybe even at kids at home, maybe even a student at an institute and a university, they have all personalized and private contents. So everybody is very fussy and very specific about how personalized contents are to be taken care of. So your personalized contents also follow you. That also amounts to generation of tools data. And obviously, questions that arise automatically from data. If I'm taking further, have a look at, I'm just showing the statistics in the last 7 years, how we have moved from about 4.4 trillion of gigabytes, even in a span of 7 years, it has reached to what, 44 trillion of gigabytes. And share of useful data on total, it has extended, it has moved from 22% to 37% in 7 years. So what we are getting is data on the cloud, which was earlier in 2013, that is 20%. It has also got a massive expansion to the level of 40%. And if you're talking about how our data from embedded systems, which have moved from your 2% to 10%. And I'm telling you, each of us, now we have started believing and trusting and relying and resting on what? On our embedded system like smartphones. And that has changed everybody's lifestyle. AI is the new electricity. This was a statement made by Andrew Ng. You are well aware, Andrew Ng, who is a Chinese-American scientist. And at the moment, he is working with Google Brain. Google Brain is one of the wings of Google. He made this statement in 2017. And if you recollect, our Andrew Ng is the same person who had worked for long and who is the mastermind behind your Baidu. Baidu is also what? One of the very important our search engines in China that is being used, their own browser. That is Baidu. They are not using the public browser like your Google, Internet Explorer or Mozilla Firefox. China is having their own individual browser and search engine. And he was the mastermind behind that and right now working with Google. So why AI is being deemed as the new electricity? As well said by even Mukesh Ambani, Dave Copeland says data is oil. But Mukesh Ambani said it's not only oil, it is a soil. And when we are talking about referring to soil, we have to cultivate the soil to our advantage. And AI is the new electricity that will be passing through the entire smart infrastructure. We could be referring to your smart cities. We could be talking about your IoT objects. We could be referring to different sensors. We could be talking about home appliances. We could be talking about any smart industry. So here are the crux of your artificial intelligence applicability. And let me just share with you, I was just referring day before, even yesterday night, and here is what that is focusing on the scope of the blockchain industry. And what it reveals, it is your 13th May. Global chain industry during 20 to 25, its rising government initiatives presents opportunity. I'm talking about all government initiatives. These are likely to move around the decision on your blockchain industry and its higher acceptability. So this was indicated by what? That is research and markets. That is one of the surveys conducted by that. Similarly, there's also what? MarketWatch. MarketWatch has revealed on their website that blockchain technology markets development analysis contributing top vendor landscape 2020, global share and size, future plans by top key players, and economic growth 2025. So that is with your COVID-19 crisis. I'm talking about even today, the lot many plans in that direction are going around about this blockchain acceptability. And here I'm just sharing you the real statistics. These are the main big giants and players who are driving the industry, including your Oracle Corporation, Deloitte, Microsoft, IBM Corporation, and so many others. Apart from this, and these are the main countries who are taking a lead in the acceptability of the Bitcoin technology market production by different regions, including United States, Europe, China, Japan, South Korea, India, and several. Let me tell you, in total, so far, there are 13 countries which have been legalized for your blockchain, or more particularly your cryptocurrency I'm referring to. It could be Bitcoin, it could be Ethereum, it could be Libra, there could be several. Here is what, again, I'm telling you, there was a survey that was conducted by good firms research. And this survey was devoted on about 50 your blockchain contributors who are contributing to the entire world. And what they reveal, these are the benefits of leveraging blockchain technology. So you can well assume what out of those 50 blockchain tycoons, they indicate that our transparency has been increased to what? 61.5%. Immutability, it has, risen to 58.5%. Immutability means there is no chance of tampering with your data or your information, in no way. Similarly, reliability has gone to 40.8%. So I'm referring that if you are just looking at this blockchain, this blockchain, it's in its own is a very big innovation for the world to witness, and I will be saying it's your main impacts, and that's why I just indicated all kind of your technological transformations. These are being fueled by blockchain in transforming in a huge way. Now let me share something very specific you could be desperate to know. I indicated our blockchain is the brainchild of Satoshi Nakamoto. I am telling you, since its birth in the year 2009, and in 2009 there was a paper, a research paper, that was a white paper that was contributed by the name Satoshi Nakamoto. I am telling you why I'm saying a suspicion over this name. Satoshi Nakamoto is a person or is a group of persons. Its identity is not even yet known. Few people indicate the Satoshi Nakamoto. It is not a person. These are several companies, including Samsung, Toshiba, Motorola, Nakamichi. But I'm not saying, as per your Google and Wikipedia, still it is not revealed. What they wrote, what he wrote, I'm not saying is a person or is a group. That's why I'm saying the paper contributed by Satoshi Nakamoto, the title was Bitcoin, a peer-to-peer electronic cash system. Now here, you should not be confused. You might be thinking, if I'm doing your net banking, if I'm going for our phone banking, so what exactly is it? It's not any cash, it's your electronic cash. Because here, you have to clarify things. What is digital cash? What is digital currency? What is virtual currency? What is cryptocurrency? I will reveal the difference. But let me move ahead. Bitcoin was the first arrival of any currency. And this currency is what? It is your virtual digital currency. And the currency with what? Currency with a very strong your cryptographic functions. And blockchain as such, there is no single word, blockchain. Because Satoshi Nakamoto, in their original paper in 2009, he used two words. One is a block, another is a chain. Block is what? Block refers to is your block of data. And block of data is having what? Different transactions. What kind of transactions? Is your ledger transactions. It could be money transactions, bank transactions. So it's a block. How the blocks are created? The blocks are created, but those blocks are even linked through different chains. So that's why sequence of blocks makes the blockchain. Let me also reveal something more. As per your Wikipedia, what's a Bitcoin? I'm referring to Bitcoin is nothing but, I just indicated, Bitcoin is the cryptocurrency. And it is a virtual currency. It is a digital currency. But the difference here is in cryptocurrency is what? Cryptocurrency is very secure. Having a pool and your specific protocols for its security, which is cryptographic function series. So if you are referring into the Bitcoin, I'm telling you, you will be amazed to know your Facebook has come up with its own, our cryptocurrency that is called Libra. And I'm telling you, it's not only the 1, 2 or 3. There are, more than 1600 our cryptocurrencies which are available. But yes, of course, in India, primarily, and one more thing I'd like to mention, in India, it was not legalized in the initial years in 2018. Then Arun Jaitley, our finance minister, had imposed a ban to the government on this Bitcoin cryptocurrency. But you'll be amazed to know, on our 4th March 2020, our Supreme Court had removed the ban. And that after this ban has been revoked, now it is a legal tender. But still, unless our market of your cryptocurrency, it doesn't mature in India, we should not take a step forward. We have to be very careful. Now, question is, your blockchain, Bitcoin, what is that? That would be, is nothing but a kind of your distributed ledger. If you recollect, in the old times, people they were making use of bahis, khatas. But I'm telling you, that was only lying at one place. Anybody could tamper with it, as if nobody could even determine or guess it is the same or different. But I'm telling you here, it's a very transparent world. And it is the most important challenge. And looking at the challenge, those kind of cryptocurrency, they were devised. This was, I'm just showing the statement of Supreme Court that legalized Bitcoin on 4th March. And there are so many other cryptocurrencies I have shown in the lower part of this slide. This is your taxonomy of money, that is called money flower. I'm telling you, this is as per your international settlement in 2017, they revealed what the different areas. The centralized bank can go for a business, can go for their, taking and giving. But what is your cryptocurrency? Cryptocurrency, if you look, it is at the core of this nucleus. And if somebody, you might be amazed, you could be thinking, who is managing your blockchain? There is no owner of it. All the people who are part of it, who are the part of the Bitcoin network, everybody is owner of that network. And that's why it is called peer-to-peer. And I'm telling you, this was the same word that was used by Satoshi Nakamoto in their original paper. These are, I just mentioned, 1600 cryptocurrencies. This is just a quick look that how you can have. And this is the major share which have been primarily very important. Looking at the largest share by what? Bitcoin. Then what? Ethereum. And there are so many other currencies too. One more thing I would like to share with you. One of the main players in India is Paxful. Paxful crypto survey, it indicates, yes, about 500 Indians, they just conveyed a survey. And the survey was based to what? That how the people, what is the trend of their adaptability, of the acceptance of this cryptocurrency. And you will be amazed to learn from this first graph of this chart, that is 90.67% is the largest share of the Bitcoin. And 44.27 is what Ethereum. It means out of 500 people, there was some percentage of people, they had both Bitcoin as well as Ethereum. But 90.67% they had your Bitcoin. Now the question is, what are the reasons for their acceptability? What do they believe? They believe that is reasons for adoption. They have indicated, number one, transferring is easy and fairly safe. Second, better privacy and security. That was also one of the very important concerns today. Financial freedom, no fraudulent, and you could be using in the manner you like. Access to everyone in every market. And there may be some percentage who have shown that they don't believe, they don't know. Apart from this, I'm just sharing with you what is the Bitcoin price today. That is on 14th of May. It goes in Indian rupees more than 7,02,824 rupees. And what is the size of the blockchain? That is your 27.95 GB. That's the size. So our blockchain size means that is a distributed ledger. And distributed ledger is what? That is fold of different pages. And pages are full of what? Different blocks. And what is the block size? Let me tell you, roughly, it may be moving between 0.8 to what? Around 1.8 MB. That's the normal, your block size that goes. Now, another very important concept that each of you could be desperate to know. Bitcoin halving. What does that mean? It's something very interesting history for this. I'm telling you, when initially, whenever in 2009, when the Bitcoin was introduced, so initially up to your 4 years, I'm just mentioning, it's a span of 4 years. What do you do? Every 10 minutes, a block is generated, right? And what has happened? In particular, within a particular 10 minutes, how many Bitcoins are generated? 50 Bitcoins. And the count of those Bitcoins which were being generated for initially 4 years, then next 4 years, it became half from 50. From 50, it reduced to 25. From 25, it reduced to 12.5. And 12.5 to it reduced to 6.75. I'm telling you, that is even recently on our 9th of May or 11th of May, this Bitcoin halving, it took place. So let me also just share something more, our information on this Bitcoin halving. That what does it reveal? It indicates, if you are referring, that is the entire, our total, how many particular blocks are generated? 210,000 blocks in every 4 years, these are being generated. And if you talk about how many bitcoins are to be produced, I indicated that to start with in 2009, then it came your 2012, then your 2016, and now it was in May 9th, probably, at 2020. So it has reduced from 50, then to 25 to 12.5, and so on and so forth. This is how it moved. This is the market price today. As per US dollars, our main market, our 9,326 USD. That's the market price as on date. And within 24 hours, in the last, average block size is what I was just indicating. That is it's ranging from our 0.82, it could be 1.5, it's a 1.3 megabyte is the average block size. How many transactions per day are taking place? 296,331. These are the number of transactions which are taking place. Why I'm referring this? I'm simply referring that you should indicate that within distributed ledger, how the entries are made, how the even different blocks are chained together. So that is the very purpose. If you look into the lower trend, what is the average block size that has been shown in the graph? Similarly, average transaction per block, which have also been shown in the lower your chart. Now, another very important, before I proceed to, just to make you understand some of the technicalities, what makes it secure. Prior to that, I'm just showing you what is happening around the world. What are the top 10 technology trends today in 2020? So it was all revealed in the beginning of this very year. According to Gartner Group, these are the top 10 trends. First is hyperautomation. What exactly mean by hyperautomation? This automation does not necessarily mean only robotics kind of thing. But I just indicated in my initial slides, everything here will be moving around data and your artificial intelligence. And your deep learning and machine learning will be all cultivated on your data that you are feeding to the systems. So hyper automation, it has brought a broad opening. Another is multi-experience. What does that really mean? Here, it is not only a very specific handful of people. What they are practicing, it will become. No. It will be across all walks of life, all people. They will be just exploiting their experience to help understand or deploy the technology into processes and products. Third, very important technology, that is your democratization. What does that mean? You are producing for the masses. And if you're talking about like your 7.6 billion population world over, you are just considering the entire globe as a village, and across, irrespective of the region, irrespective of the continent, irrespective of their diversity, this technology is not going to differentiate at all. Fourth, human augmentation. Very important. You would have come across our technological breakthrough over a period of time, that how our different gadgets, they boost thinking process, they boost memorization, or even if they plant even within the human body, some of the body parts, it can be also adding mobility to the human beings. But here, this human augmentation, here I mean that it will be blend of your human capability, human capability apart from this, augmented reality, and also the main, that is your mixed reality. So it will be a blend of our this augmentation. So it means wherever you find our human capability is larger than a machine, it's good. Exploit that. Wherever you find machine is largely intelligent than human being, exploit that potential. Where you find it should be mix up of the two, you could put up that one. Fifth one is the transparency and traceability. I'm telling you, here is the blockchain. If I'm referring, what brings transparency? How will you be able to trace? How will you be able to look for? This world of digital transformation is not going to be anonymous at all. What is going to happen? What is happening all around? You should be able to trace. You should be able to bring that transparency. It's very important. Another is empowered edge. Here, you would have just recollect. You would have devoted a lot of discussion in terms of different research or different latest or researches for computing, maybe edge computing. Here, edge computing we mean because we are even moving out of computer systems. Out of computer system, maybe the smart TV, maybe the smart starter, maybe the smart devices. So I'm talking about maybe even agro robots, which could be even plucking different fruits in a garden. On the farmhouses, they could be plucking different flowers. So I'm simply talking about empowered edge refers to what? That you do talk the specialized individual areas, how the technology can really help in that area, and how even including robotics and our this augmented reality, or this you're adding on to top of it, machine learning can help there out. Seventh one is distributed cloud. Because we have been listening from the very beginning, there used to be some centralized processing. Unlike centralized, everything is going to be distributed now. And what so? The technology, what we are talking about today in the webinar, blockchain, itself will be what? Is a distributed ledger. Now, what distributed ledger you mean? All the nodes in your Bitcoin network, they will be owning what? The entire replica of the data at their own place. So what happens? If one of the nodes get corrupted, it is still safe. You can rebuild and it will be again reconnected. It could be retrieved immediately. So distributed cloud also has a very important meaning that the entire capacity building within organizations across the world, it has brought even from a normal cloud that was private, public or hybrid. Rather, I'm telling you, it has become distributed cloud. And you could be harnessing the potential of the distributed cloud for the benefit of the individuals across the globe. Another, autonomous things. I'm simply referring, autonomous you mean that you could be thinking of your own. I'm telling you, you could be referring to a system where you want some decision making is made at that point. How the decision making is being made, is there any human intervention or human involvement into that? It may not at all be. Let me make it very clear. So autonomous things you mean the machines which are capable in making decisions, intelligent decisions like human beings in our defined areas. That is your autonomous things. Like I'm talking about drones, robots, they are being customized to help, and more particularly, as per one of the surveys I'm referring to, healthcare industry across the globe is one industry that has been heavily impacted with your autonomous things. Practical blockchain. People still have a kind of confusion. Okay, blockchain, maybe it's your Bitcoin. Friends, let me share with you. Blockchain is not the Bitcoin. Blockchain has come up as a very, very important innovation today. And let me make it very clear that blockchain as a service, people have started using. You'd have earlier thought of in the cloud, you are talking about SaaS, PaaS, IaaS, software as a service, platform as a service, infrastructure as a service. Let me tell you, the two industries, primarily, cybercrime, even here the people also, they are using crime as a service. When you are referring, who is going to combat and to help to fight with our cybercrime? Blockchain technology. And blockchain, that's why blockchain as a service is also getting the fruitful outcomes even the world is going to witness tomorrow. The last one out of these 10 technologies is the AI security. No doubt, we could be boasting, we could be referring to, yes, we are going to have our lot many even smart cities. By the end of 2020, it was expected there will be more than about your 198 your particularly smart cities. And initially, when it was launched by Government of India in 2016, they started with the only 20 cities. Now, what is the real fate of those smart cities? Who is going to back up the smart cities? Within that, it will be all your IoTs, your energy efficient buildings, your solar power is going to, all the industry or the smart cities are likely to survive on. So I'm simply talking about even within the webinar, there could be our very, very learned friends or our co-mates who could be pursuing research in the different areas. Here is a food for research for all of us we can think of that will be bringing new openings. Now let me, just take you to the next slide. Yes, you are well aware, IEEE, that is your Computer Organization Society. Every year, they are devoting a full-fledged agenda in the beginning of the initial month, that is January. And at the moment, what IEEE they have just put up and they are devoting, that is your fourth industrial revolution. So you can well imagine what was happening in the first industry 1.0. It was all just fueled by what? Steam. Second generation electricity. Third generation computing. Fourth generation, now industry 4.0, cyber physical systems. Friends, obviously we are bound to create our physical systems, those physical systems which are safe for the people to use, which are secure, which are enhancing productivity, which are also very near to humanity. But the point is, along with it, because more and more our physical system are being created, we are referring to what? Internet of objects, Internet of things, Internet of everything. Again, many more. I'm talking about Internet of specific even to human brains. So referring to this, what we are just surviving within what? Within a very intelligent space. Intelligent space where embedded systems are working, where we believe in our personalized learning, transformations, working, your privacy, security aspects. So this is your fourth industrial revolution with which we have to align our education revolution. That is your ER 4.0. That is your education revolution. And I'm telling you, because all of you just belonging to our different institutions or maybe involved in your research ranks across the different parts of the country, our education is more particularly is having a 3-point agenda. First, to acquire excellence in teaching and learning. Second to this, excellence in research and innovation. And number 3, our excellence in your extension and engagement. So how the different technologies, they are going to boost our research and innovation, teaching, learning, and also engagement and your extension. That we have to align our this education revolution with your IR 4.0. Here I'm sharing something very important. These are the top 10 trends of the blockchain 2020. I just mentioned first one, blockchain as a service by big tech companies. People have started using, I just indicated, including your IBM and even your, I'm talking about Infosys, Motorola, and maybe your Microsoft, Oracle. They are the main players. And lot of investment and lot of our proliferation that is going on all the different segments and sectors. Second important trend is what stable coins will be more visible. Now, this is again the very biggest necessity. Why Bitcoin was brought in? Because you're finding our fraudulent activities. Even why education will be needing our fraudulent, committed by different institutions, fake certificates, tampering of marks, tampering your certifications. I'm telling you why this blockchain it emerged. That is the only answer. That if you can produce you the distributed ledger, which is immutable, that is tamper-proof. You can't go for any kind of reverse engineering in any of the small entries. And why? It is being distributed. It is also distributed. That's why if you commit by some hooks and crooks or by brute force techniques, that may take even years to solve it, even months to solve it. Even then, it will not be followed because in the entire Bitcoin network, it is all the same entries. How would we be committing at all points? So that is, not possible, I would be saying. Stable coins are like this. That's why this is the time the world has to see that rather than our normal currency, which is a legal tender, the people are going to follow the trend for our cryptocurrencies. Interoperability, that is very important across different kind of devices, different kind of frameworks, different kinds of architecture. That is also not going to be the issue. It is likely to be smoothened with time. Again, blockchain integration into government agency, I indicated even yesterday's news, our 13th May. What are the government initiatives? Obviously, government is also very serious in its thinking. Blockchain with AI, I indicated in the very initial slide, initial discussion. This blockchain is going to redefine all things. AI, machine learning, deep learning, IoT, robotics from a very fresh point, because it is giving agility to all of these technologies. That is going to be very important. It is a federated blockchain moves to that is central stage. Social networking, I indicated Libra. Libra has been the new cryptocurrency our Facebook has gone for, because lot of even possibilities of creeping into the system or committing our social media crimes, it becomes difficult to manage. Another one, economy and your finance will lead blockchain applications. Similarly, blockchain combines with IoT. That's why these are the new technological breakthrough. Small gadgets, different objects. So that's why I'm saying It is your internet of everything, not only things. I am talking about beyond it. Internet of bodies also. Even living beings, they also have been considered different objects. Even they may not be knowing, but it could be communicating. Like if you are having a wrist on your watch, on your wrist, and you could be moving, you could be tracked, and you could be looking after your kids. So there are several, your IoTs, your Internet of Bodies, Internet of Things, so many things. So next to this, yes. Now, here is the answer. That if that is the kind of threats, where is the solution? The question, what is the challenge? Challenge the cybersecurity is the challenge. How we are going to combat it? Let me tell you that as per one of the surveys of Kujo AI, many of the prominent companies, they had made a survey that even this IoT environment, what kind of possible even remote accesses you can make, and you can get a very illegitimate access, though you are not authorized, but you are making entry into a system. It was not only computers I'm referring to. It could be your NES storage, your devices. That is your network. That is your storage devices. With which, what you get? You are just referring to those particular NES storage devices are what? These are to your network attached storage devices where the entire data is pumped in, and when you need it, you can retrieve it. Cameras, you can make an access. For example, you might have seen even different films, even your particularly red light is hacked. Maybe very much possible. If you are talking about smart city, the entire lighting system that could be hacked. So what are you trying to convey? Though IoT, machine learning, deep learning, these are adding to the human convenience and the agility. At the same time, a person with a bad mind who's a cyber criminal, they could be hacking to the system by different ways. I'll also be sharing something very important in the current times, what kind of crimes are taking place. But for the time being, let me indicate, yes, these are the kind of your several devices. Maybe DVRs, it could be your streaming video devices, it could be smart TVs, it could be servers, it could be thermostats, it could be access points, it could be routers. Yes. And here, let me share with you. We are also, as a country who is contributing to the overall, even adding to the overall cyber crime. And India comes at number 11. With what percentage of the cyber crime? 3%. Who is number one? United States of America. Right? So this is a total entire segment that how you are adding to the overall cyber crime, and you'll be amazed to know what is the entire budget, the liability, what is the annual revenue of cyber crime. So if you are referring, that is 1.5 trillion was the total cost. That was in the year 2018. If you are talking about even 2019, it has already crossed 2 trillions. And I'm telling you, I'm also showing some of the surveys, and it is expected in the coming 5 years, this annual revenue of cybercrime is likely to reach up to 5.2 trillion. Friends, now let me share with you, because some of you could be very enthusiastic to know what makes the blockchain so strong a technology. I'm telling you, I've just shared here just even 3 things. That is the hash, the identity, and timestamp. So every transaction that is taking place in a block in the distributed ledger, that will be indicated by the individual hash, that will be getting it a unique identity, and that will be stored with what? Timestamp. That is very important. That's why I specifically highlighted onto that. How the blockchain works is a very, very important, easy steps. I'm just trying to demonstrate you. Look at the first step. In the first step, how it works, someone requests a transaction. What does happen? Let me show you through our that marker. From here, what you're doing, this is someone requests a transaction. About this transaction, the requested transaction is broadcast to the peer-to-peer network. So this peer-to-peer network is what? Is a Bitcoin network. And I'm telling you what does happen. If you look, this is a kind of your network, peer-to-peer. There are different nodes. What has happened? Validation is taking place. Validation. So what you are doing is the network of nodes validates a transaction and the user status using non-algorithms. I'm telling you, I'll be telling which algorithms are used. I'll be telling you. But for the timing which is shown, these are simple steps. You make a request for transaction. It enters the peer-to-peer network. Then it is validated. After it is validated, then the verified transaction, it will involve a cryptocurrency. And cryptocurrency in the sense that it will be creating a hash. And this hash is what? It can't be reverse engineered. And what it will be doing? Once it is verified, it will be considered that is the transaction combined with other transactions to create a new block of data. So what has happened? That transaction, that along with others, it will become a block. And what is block? Block has been generated. And after this block, it will be adding to other blocks. So what has happened? The new block is then added to the existing blockchain in a way that is permanent and unalterable. So once your block has come and it has joined the chain, that transaction is complete. And this is how the process goes. Now, somewhat very important for more particularly younger students. These are the main our protocols which are used. Like SHA, secure hash function. SHA algorithm, secure hash algorithms. 256 means it's your 256 bits. 256 bits means 64 hexa digits. MD5 message digest, particularly crypto algos which are followed. But yes, let me, make you understand in a simplified way. Look at the process. What do you do? Here, this is the first input, only ABC. Here is what hello world. So this is, you have to understand, input can be small, can be large. It may vary. It may be arbitrary nature. But yes, hash function they make our blockchain immutable. First thing, what makes them immutable, you have to learn, you have to understand thoroughly. One-way encryption. Because once our input has been transformed into a hash, it can't be reverse engineered. Second step is salting. What do you mean? Salting is a kind of mixing. Kind of mixing means you could be going for rounds and rounds. It could be fiscal rounds. Some of the students working in information security, or they would have read our different literature, they could be well aware to recollect that there are several AES standards, DES standards, different algos, how they are working around digital signatures, your MD. This is the crux of what they follow a systematic structure in the architectures. So what the structure our Merkle they have provided of the salting and mixing, that randomization is being followed accordingly. Then decentralized, distributed, and then what? All blocks are linked. That forms the different blocks. If they join, it will become a kind of chain. Yes, this is also some of the details. Some of you could be enthusiastic to know. MD5 and ripe MD are also the different flavors. They also substantiate some of our this hashing functions. Yes, here I have just taken a specific example to make you understand that how it creates the different blocks. In this upper process you are getting, this is your block 1 header. And what you do? Because within this block, what you do? This block 1 transaction includes 3 things. Block 1 header, then what? Hash of previous block header, and the Merkle root. These are the 3 things that every block would be having. Now what does it do? What happens with the next block? Block 2. Here in the block 2, what is this? Hash of, look at, hash of previous block header. So it means from this, it will be coming over this block. That's why our second block, it is not independent. It now became dependent on the first one. Similarly, third block became dependent on the first one, second one. So it means this interdependency, it makes a chain and it makes it distributed and decentralized, and it makes it immutable. Here is also another example that you will be able to understand. Initial, this is called the Genesis block, is the first block which is having no previous block. Have a look at. This is the hash for this, and this is the previous hash that you are just considering 00. Now, when you are going to the second block, this first hash, it will be part of the process for your second block. And what you are creating for this, which along with this, you will be creating the hash. Now, this hash of the second block now will become part of what? Third hash, third block. So this is how the process goes, and you move it. These are the main, this domain of your blockchain potential applications. And I need not to mention 1, 2, 3, 4. What I'm trying to convey, blockchain is not a kind of your alone technology that is going to help particular area. But blockchain technology, it has come up as an innovation that is going to address your cyber security issues, and which has become the prime challenge for the world today. So that's why it will be having potential applications all across throughout the industry. And this is, it has evolved. That's why people, they have just assumed it as a trusted distributed ledger. And what makes it to happen? Why the people, they have believed it as a trusted ledger? The reasons have indicated what makes it immutable. It is permission, it is immutable, it is transparent, and it is distributed. So that is the main reason that is across all organizations, people have started reshaping businesses and products around blockchain technology. And even to name a few for specific, our early stage learners of the blockchain, that is improved accuracy by removing human error. It means you don't need anybody else who will be intervening. So intermediaries will be over. Another is cost reduction by limiting third-party verification. I am talking about, I'll be just indicating in education how it is going to help. It will be the document verification or authentication. Nobody will be needing. It will automatically be authenticated. Decentralization makes it harder. This is also very important. Transactions are secure, private, efficient, and it also brings all entire transparency. So these are the few, like your hotcake kind of your benefits that advocates very high of this technology. As far as cons are concerned, yes, obviously the cost. But I'm telling you, when it is going to become a general phenomena across the industry, cost also is going to be curtailed with time. Another, low transactions per second. Yes, no doubt. When you are talking about hashing, distributing over the network, it will be taking time. History of use in illicit activities. You could be well aware, our fraudulent activities done in a systematic way. If you talk about certain kind of companies initially, those kind of illicit activities, if you follow the blockchain technology, these are not likely to be bypassed. It will be revealed. Susceptibility to being hacked. You might be wondering, on one side, I am saying it is immutable and still it has been indicated susceptibility to being hacked. Yes, I'm telling you, our certain trains, though, at this point of time, it is not possible. But the possibility with our quantum computers, which are producing even those kind of with your public key to get that particular kind of your process reversed, that would be, rather than taking months, it could be produced early. And if you are just managing a timeline, it may be a possibility. That is why susceptibility. Now next, blockchain in education. How blockchain in education is going to be very helpful. And let me tell you, in education, I just try to illustrate through one of the very small videos of around 2 minutes, if you allow me. And let me play it.
As the government introduces innovative ways to provide education for all, new universities and educational institutions are coming up every day. However, in parallel, diploma mills or unaccredited institutions are also cropping up. Students and their potential employers are the ones who are the most affected by these fake degrees. While the government has taken strict action against such unaccredited institutions, there is a need for a preventive mechanism. Introducing Emphasis BlockChain. Meet Priya, who is seeking admission in an alternate medicine stream from a trustworthy college in India. She logs onto a CCIM, Central Council of Indian Medicine sponsored blockchain network using an easy-to-use mobile app and gets trusted information about all accredited institutions offering medical courses and their course and fee structure and syllabi. Priya gradually secures an admission in Munial Institute of Ayurveda Medical Sciences, Manipal. This college is affiliated to the CCIM and the admission letter is updated on the blockchain network by the college itself. During the course of a degree, all her digital mark sheets and certificates are updated by her college on the network. All such documents are notarized by stakeholders on the network itself. These documents will ensure integrity of information as they are immutable, time-stamped, and digitally signed by the issuing authorities. Upon completion of the course, Munial College also updates Priya's BAMS degree certificate digitally on the network. Priya goes on to apply for a job at Sanjeevani Hospitals for Ayurvedic medicine in Ahmedabad, where she shares her educational certificates. Sanjeevani Hospitals can now easily validate the accreditation of Munial College and Priya's qualifications as well through the blockchain network. The blockchain network removes all middlemen and makes employee background verification quick and efficient.
So this was a simple example. Our this Infosys, they have planned for into their blockchain processes to make our technology usability in education, to make you understand. Let me just, unfold. Yes, in education. Yes, prior to this, I'll be just introducing a small concept. That's very prominently in use, digital badge. And this is somewhat, got extended at a larger stage. Digital badges are validated indicators, just like I'm referring with the QR code. QR code individual stamping. What is this ISBN? Is indically barcoded. But on the same lines, if you are talking about that rather than going to some place and getting it verified, if you reveal that something authenticated in the form of a badge, and I'm telling you, the word badge has been taken from, the achiever. For example, I've been a sports achiever at the national level. I could be having a badge on my coat, on my shirt, on my t-shirt. Similarly, the digital badges. Digital badge for whom? For the achievers. But what this badge will contain? They will contain our specific information. There's a specific data. For example, you being a student, you could be having a digital badge on your degree, and that would be authenticated. Which year, which institute, which discipline, on what date it was signed by the controller and the vice chancellor, when the degree was awarded. That is somewhat very important. But initially, this concept was, taken up by Mozilla, and that's why the name it was Mozilla Open Badges. That was initially that was taken up. Yes, what I want to show. Yes, IBM also issued even all their achievers our certifications. They hosted, and these are the different kind of color badges which are having. That is just indicating, yes, somebody is having our green kind of your badge. That is for knowledge. That is for, second one is for skills. Third for proficiency. Fourth, certified. And last, journal. Similarly, our open badges, this is the terminology that you could be used by people. One more thing. Yes, here is an example that how even like your International Academic Qualifications by WES, that is World Education Services, they have applied this badges for the purpose. What do they do for applicants? Free of charge, awarded by. So it means even for different purposes, what you do, that you could be deploying badges that will be getting different kind of your authentications, and it is all well conveyed. That what does it do? That it will be saving time for applicants, free of charge, awarded by WS, a recognized credential evaluation non-profit, differentiates you from the rest of the crowd. So what I'm talking about, looking at the certificate, for example, if you are a Java certified professional, Oracle certified professional, that is Cisco certified professional. So what this certification refers to? It's the same kind of thing as your badge. Now, blockchain, when you are applying to technology, look at the process I indicated. There are the stakeholders, your teachers, your students, your employers. Again, accreditors, validators, apex agencies. So this is the entire network of the different agencies. Here about that indicates 54% of the IT professional in education admit to use your cloud apps to share sensitive data. So now I'm simply showing the trend, that is the 2020 trend, and from your particular specific organizations, as per the survey, that 54% of the IT professional education admit to using your cloud apps to share sensitive data. And wherever there is sensitive data, here is the use of your blockchain technology. So that is the real use that your blockchain could really help you in. Now, let me in the nutshell indicate what more specific domains. First thing, how it is going to transform education, e-transcripts. Because e-transcript is what? Sensitive data, and that's why it must be protected. It saves time, and it protects certificates from server failures, natural disasters. So it means it is very well known. And I'm telling you, several organizations, including your IBM or Sony Global Education, they have developed a blockchain platform to secure and share students' record. Second, digital degrees and certifications. So it means what we are doing? We are doing away with manual process. So what does it help? Fraudulent degrees, skilled forgers. I mean, these are the new techniques. Everyday people are trying to adopt. So it is much easier for potential employers to verify degrees and certificates. Why? It saves time and money. And Learning Machine, which is one of the startup, it is at your MIT Media Labs, they have partnered for our BlockCert tool set. And that is one of our this MIT and BlockCert, that's your BlockCerts. They are already in use. They are creating our degrees and certifications. Similarly, cloud storage, very important use. That universities, colleges provide large amount of online cloud storage to students, faculty to promote collaboration. You are well aware that you could be using Dropbox, Amazon Cloud, etc., which are quite expensive, which students have to bear in different forms. Similarly, blockchain-based file storage may be quite helpful as it brings the cost down. Similarly, identity management. It means university or college identity cards are used for lower subscription because who is a scholar, who is getting a fee waiver? So fake IDs are easier to manufacture and design. So identity management could also be one of the areas where your blockchain is going to transform hugely. So that's why using blockchain education, if you just segregate the ideas, number one, identity and student records. How we identify students, how we protect their privacy, how we measure, record, credential their accomplishments, and keep these records secure. Second, new pedagogy. Because even during COVID-19, even the entire world, it reveals through different surveys that no one else could do or motivate the people rather than this time who went for a forced online pedagogical transformation. Like this kind of like this webinar, had we ever thought of? Hardly not. But this is what this transformations, it has brought all of us together on this digital form. And that's why new pedagogy, that is prime for every teacher. That is also likely as one of the ways it could transform. So it means our new learning models that we could create of our own. Students' cost reduction, the concept of meta university. It means I being a student, I could be taking one course of GPU, I could be taking another course of your Delhi University, I could be taking another course of JNU, because I'm talking about in the time to come. This meta concept, meta university, it was initially taken up but it did not get momentum. But yes, with passage of time, like our choice-based credit system that is being adopted, that was conceived long back. Meta university, maybe in the time to come, maybe after a couple of years, people would realize, and our policy makers, including MHRD, UGC, they may be taking initiative on that. Disintermediation. So blockchain will do away with that. Disaggregation, to separate into components, it will do away with that. Similarly, distributed learning environment, it will provide, yes. Self-sovereignty and identity, it will provide. Transparency, it is being advocated. Talking about for this webinar. Another very important that I'm going to share, another couple of minutes I will take, but it's very important to reveal and to justify why blockchain. Friends, the internet that you are surfing, that you are browsing, this is only 4% of, and that is what only tip of the iceberg that is within our reach. More important is what below our this transparent and surface web, and that is called deep web. Deep web is what? That could be, for example, in the university, we could be having our own local area network where we don't want our different stuff to be public. Why? It is being sensitive. But yes, beyond that, there's also another web, and that is called dark web. So this intelligent space, the different cyber criminals with different tactics or different brute force or different mechanisms, they are trying to penetrate or creep into the system. And I'm telling you, dark web can't be browsed with our ordinary browser. Similarly, deep web and dark web, they requires a specialized kind of your browsers to creep into. I'm just giving some example. Tor, TOR. TOR is also one of the specialized browsers that even dark web criminals, they make use of. And here I'm telling you, yes, in the surface web, what you are doing, like your Wikipedia, Google, even your Facebook, open Facebook, not your individually exposed. So this is the boundary that I'm just sharing with you through this one of the slides. And what exactly is what? Who are the people who are operating in the dark web? They are not safe people. They are not simple people. They are the criminals. They are not people who are practicing ethical ways. No, unethical. That is your dark web. And what is the growing threat? It was very important to share with you because this is the annual spending I was just indicating. And look at this particular graph as revealed by your Wall Street Journal and your particularly, Jupiter Research, that these are the different trends. And you would come to know this much of huge money that is being spent to address our this growing threats. Yes, very important. I'm not talking about very general kind of threats. The most important, our kind of your threats, these are through malware, and which are based on what do they do. And this is what adware, ransomware, rootkit, spyware. I am telling you different ways and methods people are using. Here you also find different kind of your phishing. Because I think hardly you find, as per your National Crime Record Bureau, if you track, you'll be amazed how many even different complaints or kind of different crimes they have moved within the last around 4 years. The different kind of tactics or techniques or methods people are adopting. Phishing, SMSing, farming, whaling, our wishing, tailgating or piggybacking. Let me tell you, it's just like if you are entering a room and somebody else behind you also is entering the room. It's the same way. That who appears to be legitimate, though not legitimate. Whaling means specifically targeting the people. Farming you normally means you are going for your specific websites, which are very likely, could be used by large society of people. Apart from this, yes, there are also few more things. Spear phishing, and your whaling. There's also what watering hole. Watering hole is a kind of just like for a particular targeting certain company or certain organization, and if they are visiting certain websites specifically, so what do? You try to change that website and try to infect that website so that your work suffers on that account. So I'm not going in detail, but yes, our malware is becoming a very different kind of bigger threat for the world. Yes, this was a specific survey, made by certain company that different age group people, they are lured for different purposes. If you find these are priorities, 18 to 24, that is your fake check or money order, online purchase or employment. These are lured with that. 25 to 34, number one, employment, online purchase and advance fee. So if you move from top to bottom, what you do find? 65 plus, they go for look for some technical support, some family friend or some investment. So these are the trends which were found as per, yes. Why behavior is missed? Here is the person, if you recollect, if I'm saying this is a bad guy who is an intruder, who is a hacker, who is trying to keeping an eye on your system. So what is this? This is a happy face. This is also what is a happy face. What you do? If you are finding, look up from here, it has become this face. It means it has creeped into the system. And that's why it is not safe now. How did it happen? These are the types of innovation that can take place. Sleep, target, NTBM, time bomb, user inputs. These are the different kinds of our malware that may happen. And this is another kind which I was just sharing with you. Yes, there are three kinds of your code execution. One is called AC, arbitrary code execution. So in computer security, arbitrary code execution is used to describe an attacker's ability to execute arbitrary commands or code on a target machine or in a target process. Similarly, remote code execution is what? Here is the attacker. What one is doing? He is remotely getting an access to your connected device. I just indicated that is your Kuj AI company, that they had made a survey that even the connected devices could also be hacked. Your CCTV, your even different DVR or your smart TV could also be hacked. So force code execution is a very important. Yes, here is the solution. I happen to listen to one of the very renowned speaker from Maryland University, Professor Sanjay Barua, who said, yes, our force code execution is getting to the solution by means of deep learning. So what you do is, force code execution is nothing but that is a technique that even AI or deep learning or neural networks, you can apply to detect the malware. And so this is not a crime, but rather it is a solution. How does it happen? How it works? This is how it works. Initial phase. This is the sandbox. This is the malware. So for example, in the initial stage, if you could detect it, it is good. It is detected. For example, it could not be detected here. What you do? You analyze it. This is the second phase. And after this analysis, what you do? After that, you go for entire exploration of the entire paths. What are the different paths? So you apply that effort at all the different paths. And afterwards, what you do? You train the data. So similar trains you do find, and automatically what you will do? You will be able to train. So if I'm saying what I was showing here, that these methods, they are using your deep learning, which particularly derives your final malicious score. And it also uses neural networks. So the crux of force code execution brings a good solution. So these are the main digital transformation. So I'm just going quickly over that, because AI already indicated, blockchain I've simply indicated. These are, as per 2020, these are the our main specific digital transformation trends. This is your voice and conversation UI. It is cloud. It is cybersecurity, the biggest challenge, and for which our blockchain technology is one of the very biggest solutions. So these are the latest trends as per 2020. that in the year 2020 and onwards, trends of national cryptocurrencies, people will be adopting. I'm talking about even as per one of the recent, guidelines of the RBI websites. RBI also is going to take very reformative decisions on adoption of the cryptocurrency. Government's decentralization, I indicated, and over these three, yes, many of the friends were looking for good jobs. So demand for our blockchain experts, that is also going to get good openings. That will also be transforming this employment industry too. So with these words, I thank you very much. And now I will be open for any kind of questions with friends. Yes, now I'm open for questions.
Hey,
Yes, yes.
hey, मेरा कोई किसने किया?
Question?
Yes, Pradeep.
Thank you so much, sir.
Okay.
It was
Because I couldn't see through the chat box. If you will, can you let me know if there are some questions?
Yeah, okay. I'll just check.
Yeah.
But so far there was no question, and everyone was listening to you very carefully. It was very informative, and a whole lot of facts were there. And which type of blockchain is used for education? This is one question. Which type of blockchain is useful for education?
Which kind of job?
Blockchain.
See, let me answer it.
Okay.
Blockchain is not is a kind of some specialized area where you can apply. I just indicated that blockchain you could be using as a service. And this is a very well-proven strategy. It's your entire system. And I just indicated your Paxel in India. They are also making it, applicable. And there are so many players that who are even including your Microsoft or Oracle or other companies. Apart from cryptocurrencies, even into the processes for your IoT, AI, education, they already are, for accreditation processes, they're already working on. So there's a very good opening. People have already started using it.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, so I request you all, if you have any question, you can directly ask to sir or type it in the chat box.
Or yes, one by one, if they may unmute, I can answer it. But
Yes.
only one at a time. That will be good to, maintain the decorum and protocol.
Sir, I think we take the question from the chat box, and after taking all the question, I will send you the mail. It will be better you write the answer, and we will send all to all the participants, because at this time it is not possible for you after a 2-hour lecture to give the answer of every question at this time, sir.
Oh, okay. Sorry for inconvenience.
Questions are coming in the chat box, so it will be really difficult for you to answer it right now. So thank you so much, sir. What we say in Hindi, आप ज्ञान का भंडार हैं, and we have got I've been starting from the original authors, Nakamoto, the white paper, Bitcoin, a peer-to-peer electronic cash system, and how blockchain is boon for education. Yes, the whole details and the growth data, digital explosion growth data from 2013 to 2020, and what are the benefits of blockchain, the transparency and immutability and their percentage and the whole detail, and what are the trends of cryptocurrency in India, and the top 10 technology trends, the details, and the fourth industrial revolution, that is education revolution. I'm just highlighting the points and just for everyone to recall it. And the top 10 trends of blockchain in 2020, and the pros and cons, the whole block diagram, the network, how blockchain works, and the process and the protocols, and the all details, why blockchain, and how it will help for education. And in the end, the deep web and the dark web and the dark web criminals, and the all details, and how to overcome it, and how to use blockchain, and how to work further in blockchain. Thank you so much, sir. And thank you very much. I am so much fortunate to listen you second time in this very short period of time, and it was very informative. Thank you so much. And now I invite Dr. Arun Solanki for vote of thanks. He is the co-convener of the webinar. Sir, please, you're welcome.
Thank you, Aditi. Am I audible?
Yes, sir, you're audible.
Am I audible? Oh,
yes, sir.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you so much, Aditi. First of all, eminent speaker, Professor Nasib Singh Gill, my faculty colleagues, dear students, good afternoon to all of you. It is my pleasure to deliver the vote of session, sir. Thank you very much. I wish to extend my sincere thanks to the Honorable Vice Chancellor, Professor D.P. Sharma, Dean Academics, Dean of University School of ICT, and Registrar for their kind guidance and all support during the webinar. And I also wish to thanks to Ms. Aditi, who have presented the seminar very well, managed the seminar very well. And at last, I sincerely present my vote of thanks to each and every person who is directly or indirectly involved in this webinar. Thank you. Thank you so much, Aditi. Over to you.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much. Now, I request you all to please stand at your place for the national anthem, Jan Gan Man. Pradeep sir, can you please play the Jan Gan Man? Pradeep sir, are you there?
Yes.
Dr. Pradeep?
Pradeep sir.
Jai Hind to all, and have a very nice day. And stay safe. Good health to everyone. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Okay. Thank you, Aditi. Thank you, all of you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.